guys, welcome here. If you're new here, my name's Bethany. I'm the girl behind Well Love Knits, and today I'm very excited to be introducing a new knit along that has started, something that I am doing in partnership with WoolyKnit, none other than WoolyKnit, my absolute favorite. You guys know that I've been almost exclusively knitting up their yarn for the last little bit, and they're honestly, I don't need anything else. Which is why I'm very excited to be partnering with them to bring this knit along to life. It's called the Unlikely Pairs KAL. I don't know what it is about coned yarn, woolly knit fiber is like, I just look at it and I get so excited to work with color. It wasn't until I invited some of their cones into my life that I started knitting with really bright, vibrant colors. It has made me extremely daring with my color choices as far as my projects go. So that was the inspiration for the theme, Unlikely Pairs. I basically just want an excuse to make some kind of wild sweater with some unlikely color combinations. I've been really inspired by striped projects and other kind of color work projects, and that's the type of knitting that I want to start working my way towards. I really would love to do some more complex color work later this year, and I thought to dip my toes into it, this could be a really fun way to get that muscle going. You know, I think it takes a really special muscle to figure out what kind of colors go nicely together, and having this excuse to kind of play around with that is something that I need, and I hope that is something inspiring to you as well, which will make you really excited to cast on. The rules are very simple because we just don't have time to make things very complicated. Basically what you need to do is cast on with at least 2 either colors, yarn types, or yarn weights. So it doesn't have to be with color necessarily. You could get creative with different types of yarn weights, different compositions of yarn like wool and acrylic and whatever you might have in your stash already. It does not have to be a garment, and it does not have to be knitting either. If you're more into crochet or you feel like that's your strong suit and that's actually what you want to be working on, go for it. There will be prizes for this knit along, and there are 2. There's a first prize winner who will win 75 pounds store credit to WoolyKnit, and then the second prize, let me just make sure that I got it right, yep, 25 pounds. So a first prize of 75 pounds and a second prize of 25 pounds. That's a voucher to WoolyKnit to get some more fiber for your stash. And to be eligible for this prize, you just have to post again with the hashtag on Instagram, and you have until midnight on April 7th to enter. The best part about this is if you have yarn in your stash, at least 2 different colors or 2 different types, you can already get started. If you have a project in mind, you can cast on right now and work that up for the next month. But if you're in the market for some new yarn, you certainly do not have to be using woolly knit fiber to enter this knit along. You can again do it with what's in your stash already, and I would encourage you to do so. But if you are in the market for some yarn, you can head over to woolyknit.com and see what they have to offer. If you purchase 2 cones, you automatically get 20% off applied to your cart. And if you do purchase throughout the knit along between March 3rd and April 7th, I will receive a small commission on those 2 cones. If you do decide to get anything, that's a great way to support me. It's also a great way to add on to your stash if you're interested, but again, it's by no means necessary to enter to win the prize for the KAL. So I've been going through what I already have in my stash, and I haven't quite yet come to what I would love to have in terms of an unlikely pair. I am definitely overthinking this. As far as unlikely pairs go, I know I was the one that came up with the idea, but I'm really overthinking it, and I have not yet come to a decision on like what 2 colors I'm going to be using, because I am definitely going to be playing with color for this one. I probably will stick to the same yarn types and yarn weights, unless I see a pattern that could be really interesting to play with those kind of things. I'm just really into the idea of working with like 2 colors that are a little out there. Just going off of that, that makes me want to tell you, like, don't overthink it, because I am overthinking it. That's something that I'm having a really hard time with now. I have so many interesting options as far as color goes, but I just cannot seem to make a decision on what it is. I'm leaning towards something in the green. I have this really pretty forest green. I actually have it right here. It's really pretty forest green, and I was thinking I have some leftover green from this sweater that I'm wearing now, and I thought a striped sweater with these two could be kind of interesting, like going into the same color family. I don't know. But yeah, we're not judging your colors. We're not judging your choices. This is definitely personal. This is what you want to do and what you want to play with. We are not judging whether it looks the best or if it's the right unlikely pair. Honestly, if it's not that unlikely, who cares? It's a color work project. Or, a weight project or fiber project. Bringing different things together. Being creative and bringing different things together. That's the most important thing. Now, like I said, I've been really focused on color work, and some of the patterns that I have been looking at, also very difficult to decide, if I'm being honest with you. So let's see some of the things that I've saved, because that will kind of give you an idea of where I'm coming from, and maybe you can branch off there and think of something else that you would prefer working on more if it's not in line with the things that I've been picking out. A great one for this would be the melange sweater. I did a melange sweater for my sons, and I think that I would make another one for them. If I would go this route, it would be a really fun way. And I saw this one. Let me record while I'm talking so that you can see what I'm looking at. Hello. Okay, so the melange sweater, I made a melange sweater baby many moons ago, and I think that would be a really great one as far as yarn weights, yarns types, yarn colors. That would be a really fun one to pair together, and I really liked this one because it used more than just 2 different colors. It was definitely a scrappy project. You could definitely get scrappy here. Don't limit yourself to the number of colors also. The minimum is 2, but that doesn't mean there's a maximum. So you can definitely get as creative as you want and as loud as you want to. Just as an aside, I don't think I would be working on this for the knit along, but I really love this color work project. I want to knit a colorwork project just like this, and this is kind of where I'm springing off of. This is the end goal, and I'm getting there through this knit along. So the Olga sweater is an obvious choice for me, and I just absolutely love this color combination. This is a pistachio green and a plum, and I think that's absolutely beautiful. Stripes. Definitely leaning towards stripes for this one. But the marling effect of the melange sweater is tempting. If we're talking about stripes, we have to go through the Stripe Hype sweater by Kutovakika, and I really love her sweater, her version of the sweater. I love all the iterations that I saw of the Stripe Hype sweater, and I think this is an unlikely pairing as it is. So if the Unlikely Pairs knit along had a mascot pattern, I feel like this one is a top contender. It really is just it's so striking and so unique and creative, and this is exactly the kind of energy that I'm trying to channel for this knit along myself. Just because I bought the pattern and it's also one that I want to knit up. The Norma sweater could be a fun one by My Favorite Things Knitwear if you don't want to go completely head to toe color. If you want a little bit more of a subtle entry into the Unlikely Pairs KAL, using that color work motif could be a fun one to do. You could get really creative with that stripe detail. Anything basically from Rose Knitwear, I think, is an absolute ideal pattern. This one even looks like it could be used with different yarn weights if you look closely at the details. I'll put the pattern name up on the screen because I don't actually know it right off the top of my head. It doesn't say it in the post. But if we go to Rose Knitwear's feed, you can see just so much great inspiration for what I would say is a great pattern lineup for the Unlikely Pairs KAL. Like this sweater right here. Yeah, you could just get so creative. Like, I would never have paired these colors together, and that's exactly the point. Like, I want to have this muscle. I want to know what colors would look fun together, what is fun to work up together, and just get inspired. Just go to Rose Knitwear and get inspired. I'm sure you will find something. Another one that I was looking at, but I don't actually have it on my saves, was, I think I took screenshots of it because I didn't know what I was doing, the Other Loops Direction Loop sweater. She actually had a KAL for this, a knit along, and it looks like a lot of people entered for that. So if you didn't get on the bandwagon for the Direction Loop sweater KAL, here's your chance to work on it. If you still want to do so and you just didn't get your act together for that KAL or didn't know what was happening, this is a top contender for me too. I really loved this version of it. Because I love the Olga sweater, but you know, maybe if I want to try out a different designer, the Direction Loop. I also really love the saddle shoulder detail that I'm seeing there. That looks really nice. I love this orange and purple. It is so eye-catching, so much fun. Again, just get kooky, you know, do things that you wouldn't normally have done before. That's the energy for this KAL, and I really hope that you can embrace it and I can embrace it. And yeah, just work up something fun. Just have something where I have it on my hands, on my needles, and I'm just really excited to work on it just to see how the colors continue to play together. So not just green, I would really love to work with some purples. I would love to work with some like lime colors. I think that color combination with the green and the purple is really beautiful and something that I would really love to do myself. Other things that I was thinking of, if it's not a sweater for me, because it still might not be a sweater for me and it doesn't have to be a garment, again, I just tend to go towards those projects. I was also thinking of knitting something up for one of my sons, probably Noah. He deserves a little sweater. So something along the lines of the Olga sweater baby or child junior. There's also, is Holger? I think that's the kids version. There's also the cross sweater from Petite Knit that I was having a look at the other day. That includes 3 different colors, and it could be really fun. It was a charitable pattern. I think the proceeds go to the Red Cross, so having that Red Cross detail and then getting creative with the top and the bottom colors that were included in the pattern. I really liked that one. I thought that was a really good option. There's also a pair of mittens that I was really into working up. I think the boys would really appreciate some mittens too, so that's a good excuse and something small, you know, to play with color. So the projects don't have to be large. They can be whatever you want. They don't have to be garments. Again, they can be knitting or crochet. If you're more into crochet, that's certainly an option. It can be hats. It can be gloves. It can be a scarf, of course. It can also be a sweater. It can be something bigger. It could be a blanket. You know, really don't limit yourself. Just to make sure that we're clear about the rules, I'm going to post them also on the screen so that you can see. They're simple. We didn't want to make things complicated at all. We wanted it to be fun. This is supposed to be a fun KAL. If you don't finish, that's okay too. I don't expect you to knit an entire sweater in a month. I certainly won't be able to knit a sweater for myself in a month, unless I surprise myself, but I'm not going to force myself. The idea is to get started on the project and to just have fun with it. And again, throughout the next month, definitely check out WoolyKnit and see what kind of cones that they have to offer. I personally really love their merino cones. They're really nice and soft to the touch. I've worked on it paired with mohair. I've also made a sweater without mohair at all, and I can say that it stands the test of time. Definitely much stronger of a fabric with mohair included, but it's not obligatory. And their British wool is also extremely nice to work with. It's not scratchy at all, in my opinion, especially if it's paired with mohair, but I don't have the irritation when I'm working on it with my fingers. I find that all of their fiber has been really lovely to work with. They have all kinds of different types, so definitely check it out. And again, if you do purchase 2 cones and get that 20% off, I will receive a small commission, which is an amazing way to support me, and I appreciate you if you do that. And I also appreciate you if you don't do that. That's not to say that you need to go out and buy yarn. I'm 100% all for knitting from stash, and I highly encourage you to do so. Just wanted to be transparent about that I am affiliated with them. Okay, I am very excited for this knit along. I'm going to be much more active than I normally am over on Instagram and share with you guys my progress over there, so definitely follow me if you haven't already. If you're new here, hi! And I will also be posting here, sharing in my next upcoming videos my progress too. So let me know if you're interested in joining the knit along. I would love to hear it over in the comments section. If you have any pattern suggestions that you would love to bring attention to, definitely share them. And I'm really excited to work on this. I'm excited to play with color, and I hope you guys are too. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you join the KAL, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!